becomes the largest city in the country to grant non-citizens the right to vote in city elections. The bill passed on Thursday, and if there are no legal challenges, it would go into effect in 2023. BNC's Dre Clark is in New York with more.
Although the vote was not unanimous, City Council here in New York passed what many call a game-changing bill that will clear the way for a huge wave of voters in 2023. The new bill means close to 1 million people living in New York City will now have voting rights. Starting in 2023, people who have lived in the city for at least 30 days with permanent residency status would be allowed to vote. Also, those with DACA status and holding green cards or work permits would also be allowed to cast their votes. City Councilman Nayyera Rodriguez sponsored the bill.
So this is about, we've been engaged in a very productive conversation about how we are living our society better when it comes to expanding voting rights.
Rodriguez has spent the last 2 years fighting to get the bill passed, but other council members motioned for the vote to be delayed.
This in no way is a motion to defeat the bill that's being proposed. This is so that we can make the bill better.
If this bill is amended today in any way, the bill is technically dead for this legislative session, and the next city council would have to take it up.
Council Majority Leader Lori Cumbo has concerns about how the new bill will affect the power of the black vote in New York City.
This particular legislation is going to shift the power dynamics in New York City.
But the bill passed with majority support. Meanwhile, the state's Republican Party came out very strong against the new measure, calling what council approved irresponsible and an attack on election integrity, also saying Democrats are trying to stack the deck for future elections. The city's outgoing mayor, Bill de Blasio, has not spoken out against the bill, but he has expressed concerns about its legality. And incoming Mayor Eric Adams, the city's first black mayor in 30 years, has also expressed the same concern. It's important to note that non-citizens are not allowed to vote in presidential and congressional elections, and here in New York State, they can vote for governor, judges, or any state legislators. This is strictly a New York City bill. However, at least 12 other places across the country also have bills in place allowing non-citizens to vote. Meanwhile, many people expect that there will be legal challenges to this bill before it goes into effect in 2023. In New York City, I'm Dre Clark for BNC.
Non-citizens in New York now have the right to vote. Well, this progress is against the backdrop of the Republican right wing resisting all voting rights efforts, crying voter fraud about Biden's election, and planning to challenge every election where black and brown people turn out to vote. It's not just about Trump and past election. David Perdue, who's running against Stacey Abrams for governor of Georgia, just sued the state today to look at voter fraud. This fake worry about voter fraud has spread to every state in the nation. So why is New York City giving these Trumpians more ammo to cry voter fraud? Dre just shared some facts about why you shouldn't fear these nearly 1 million new voters in New York. They're only allowed to vote in local elections, the ones that specifically affect their quality of life, not any of the federal elections that affect state or national office. The logic is that non-citizens still pay local taxes. Non-citizens still work, live, and contribute to our society and should be accounted for in the census and represented. They are part of our reality. But there is an entire movement in this country trying to make you fear undocumented people. And now they want you to fear what happens if undocumented people vote or green card holders vote. So let's unpack what happens when more people vote. More people are represented. More people are heard. And our government reflects the reality around us. So what happens when we exclude people based on fear? I mean, you have what the founding fathers intended. They were afraid of the public holding sway. They were afraid of enslaved people being counted. They were afraid of women having a say. You catch my drift yet? Voting is considered to be one of the most fundamental rights we have as Americans. A right that is slowly being turned into a privilege. Being heard by society, being counted, is a privilege of those who are citizens. But let's not forget the millions of people who were simply born into that privilege. Whereas many of our Black ancestors bled for the right, my ancestors earned that right over years of hard work. Let's not pass that trauma of voting being a privilege onto another generation. Let's honor the fundamental right to be heard. Folks, voting ain't pie. It ain't gonna run out. And let's not fall into the machinations of the right wing. The same people who find what's happening in New York to be scary, they're the same people coming after our votes in Georgia, Texas, and everywhere else. Did I make the case? Let me know online at Nayyera Haq.